All right, welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel for another viewer comments video. We're here in the spring of 2020, and this is where we go through some of the most, maybe most asked, sometimes the silliest, sometimes the nicest, sometimes the meanest comments that I've gotten over the last few months. We'll address those comments here today. First comment from a longtime follower, James Rose, says on one of the greenhouse videos where I talked about some of the tech that we use to run the greenhouse. He says, I have a similar solar battery generator and a 100-watt solar panel to charge it. It works very well for camping, and my solar panel charges it faster than the wall adapter in full sun. So this is on the video I did, I highlighted this little battery backup deal, this little battery deal that this company had sent me. It's a Max Oak little power station. And I've also got a bigger one that they have sent me actually a couple months ago. And I'm going to address or highlight that in an upcoming video. But they are two of the neatest things. I literally use them all the time. The smaller one I carry around with me to charge my phone when I'm filming, to charge the drone batteries, to charge other things. I've shown this in other videos. I have a couple solar panels now, so I literally can charge it out in camping and other things like that, out in the back in the woods if I'm using it or something. And you'll be seeing a lot more of that in upcoming videos. Hunter Dude, another longtime follower here in Michigan, I believe, in the up north there somewhere. He says, without reading any comments, and by now I'm sure you know that you need another chain. Also, it's not going to work with that saw. The chains they take are for a smaller saw. So this was in response to this strange chainsaw sharpener that I found on Amazon. And boy, did Amazon let me down, because that, as many people had commented, I got lots of comments on this video. That chainsaw sharpener is designed specifically for a certain kind and set of chains. That it's a really goofy looking chain, and it sharpens with the special sharpening system and everything. Nowhere in the reviews did it say anything about that. Nowhere in the description did it say anything about that. And so when I purchased that, I thought, I didn't really think it was going to work based on the design of it, but I thought I would give it a shot. But turns out that was a big fail. That was not the chainsaw sharpener for my chainsaw or for a standard chain. And so I recently reviewed the steel chainsaw guide and sharpener, which I really love, and that one I'll be using that one going forward. So the other one will go in the trash. Cheapskate says, I've never seen such a happy dog. Heaven on earth for him. Well, this was many people have asked about our dog. We have a new chocolate lab that we got about a year ago. She's just over a year old. She has quickly become probably our favorite pet that we've ever had. She is full of energy. She loves to play in the water. She loves to follow me out and do work with me out in the woods and the tractor and everything. She stays pretty close, and she never stops running out there in the woods. She'll run herself to death, I think, if I was out there long enough. So she loves it out here on the farm for sure, and I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of her in upcoming videos. John Q. Public says, I just started watching, but I can't understand why the home was built in an area with all that water. I would hate to rely on pumps forever. So this was on one of the trenching videos I did, and I talked about how wet it is here and how our sump pump runs for most of the year through the summer, or through the spring and in wintertime. And you know, to say I'm not sure why they built houses here, you know, I can understand that. This whole county and this whole area of Michigan is very flat. And so you end up with having a lot of water issues. Water just doesn't have it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't shed off anywhere very quickly. The water table here is very high, and that's just, you know, in most places in Michigan, there's just a lot of water here, and so that's just something that we deal with here. It's very common to have sump pumps in basements with water issues and things like that all over lower Michigan. In different areas. Some places are higher elevation. They don't deal with it as much as we do, but we certainly deal with it here in this flat area of Michigan, and so it's just how it is, just life here. Chestnut Oaks Homestead says, yes, regardless of the trade, young people really need to learn how things work. We turn out kids through college to be good at their job, but nowhere along the line do kids learn how to be good at life. I really agree with this. I did a video a few months ago about you know, what I would recommend any young man to do, a trade that I got a lot of experience in, which is heating and cooling. And I recommend this for any kid, and this goes for women too. So I wasn't excluding women. I just think this is more targeted towards young men. There's just no excuse anymore to not be able to learn and know how to do just about anything. The Cynic says, I hate rust. Get a wire brush and get as much off as you can, then spray it over with rust converter. So the Cynic, longtime follower and commenter, talking about that John Deere Gator, the old AMT 600 that I have, the 80s version of that. And you know, my wife hates rust too, and so maybe I'll have to get some paint out. Maybe I'll clean that up someday if I have some extra time, and get the rust off it and spray it. Clean it up real nice. Jacob Taylor says, I was trying to find a simple way to explain this channel to my grandma, and all I could think was the Bob Ross of sustainable living. Hey, we're just gonna make some happy little indentations here. And we're just going to take our seeds, put them in a snuggly little hole. Oh, too many in that hole. That's okay, there's no mistakes here, just happy little accidents. Cover them up gently. Put them in a happy little bed. Well, Jacob, I appreciate that. I think that is I take that as a compliment. Hopefully, this is the the calm and happy little farm and sustainable homestead out there on YouTube. I try to be positive as much as I can, and so I'll take that as a compliment. The Bob Ross of sustainable living. I like that. I think I'll remember that one. Tristan Culpepper says, "Can I buy your maple syrup?" Well, yes and no. We didn't. This is probably the worst year. Well, it is the worst year of maple syrup that we have had here since we've lived in this house. The weather just was too warm. It was warm all winter. We had a couple runs, and then it was just about nothing. So I got probably 25 to 30% of what I got last year and the year before that. So I don't have that much, but we will be selling it. We will put it on our website for sale. So the two things you can do if you'd like to buy maple syrup. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at SSL Family Farm. That is where we'll be putting out when we have that for sale. It'll also be on our website. And so rather than put it out on the YouTube channel to 100,000 people or more, we'll put it out on social media. If you follow us over there, you'll get notified, and then we'll let you know when we have some. Robert Jeffrey says, I see a saw that causes me to cringe. Silica dust is as much a killer as asbestos. So this was I was using the that saw to cut the cinder blocks for the maple syrup evaporator. I put my shirt over my face and I breathe through my nose, and that filters out a lot of that stuff. So I do understand a lot of people have safety concerns and health concerns, and I appreciate that, you guys looking out for me. But I do try to take some precautions, and especially if I'm only using it for a couple minutes here and there, I usually don't wear a dust mask. I just try to stay away from the dust and point it away from me. It's usually breezy out, that kind of stuff. So it's not something that I do very often, and so I think I'll be all right. Robert Robertson says, are you going to line the inside with fire brick? This was on the cinder block evaporator build. And by far, the most common question I got throughout that series, I did three or four, maybe even 5 videos on the cinder block evaporator, more than I've ever done. I took you through each step. I filmed the whole thing. And man, I got a lot of critique on that. That is a very cheap and almost temporary way to set up a maple syrup operation. Okay, so this is not meant to be, a 10, 20, 30, 40-year structure. It is a quick and easy and super cheap. I mean, literally without the stovepipe, which I'll reuse, I spent less than $50 on that. That's 5 bottles of maple syrup that I can sell and regain that cost. And so that is why I set that up the way that I did. The cinder blocks, they will last a few years. They're filled with dirt, and they actually don't crack as much as you would think. They hold a lot of heat in that firebox under that pan, and it really works well without any fire bricks. Fire bricks are so expensive that if I were to line that big of a area with fire brick, it would cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars. In which case, I would rather take that money and invest it in a real maple syrup evaporator, which we'll end up getting one day. And continuing on that, Joseph Falco says, LOL, what a joke. Did you use anything that was fire rated, such as mortar or fire brick? I swear I could make a YouTube channel dissing everyone else's channels on their mess-ups and show the proper way of making everything from fire pits to greenhouses. What a joke. Well, Joseph, you are you're fun to have, aren't you? So I love comments, guys. I really do. I love, getting comments from people is one of the things I look forward to every day. I look forward to reading comments, and it really makes YouTube what it is. But there are some people who I think follow this channel, as well as many others, and they just want to critique. They just want to tell you how you're doing everything wrong. And that's fine. Joseph has the right idea. If you want to, critique everyone for what they're building on their channels or what they're doing at their house, you need to start your own channel and you need to show people how you do it, and that's totally fine. But again, the cinder block evaporator, it served its purpose. It turned out as I had hoped and as I had expected, and it was super inexpensive. That was the whole goal. This is a business, not a hobby, and so I have to understand that I have to pay attention to the costs I'm putting into things, and so that's just how it is, Joseph. So I encourage you, Joseph, to go out and start your own channel, and I'd love to see you build an evaporator. Maybe I'll take some of your tips on your video. Shaun White says, have you ever fallen while carrying a bucket full of sap? Yes, I have, many times. I have fallen in walking through the water, and every time I have fallen, I have not had the cameras rolling, and so I haven't been able to show you guys. But I will tell you a story. The first year I kayaked out in the maple forest to get sap, I did not have the cameras running, and I went out, I was in the kayak, and I was loading a bucket off a tree into the bucket in my kayak, and I totally capsized. With my phone, my wallet, everything on me, I went underwater. It was in about a 4-foot deep spot of water, and it was about 30 degrees outside. I went all the way underwater. I had a long walk and a long ride up from that forest to get inside and changed and warm again. It was pretty awful, and so sometimes I have fallen, and I'm sure I will fall again. Hopefully I'll catch it on video next time for you guys to see. Right, Miss Bird says, you lost me at all those weeds. No offense. So I did a video clearing out the greenhouse raised bed, and I had put a lot of fresh composted manures and things like that in there, and I had a lot of chickweed growing, which many people commented that's chickweed. And some people said that's great for salads, you can use it for other things, it's great for, it's medicinal and all these things. It is called chickweed. So it is a weed. I don't want it in there, and I don't plan on using it. I don't eat it. I don't do any of that. So I'm sorry that I lost you when I was calling those weeds, but it's chickweed, so it's weeds. Joshu Bailey says, SSLFamilyDad, commenting on I don't remember what video that was on, but I have started to post more some mid-roll ads, and so some of my longer videos, if they're longer than 15 minutes, I'll throw a mid-roll ad in there. Many of you have commented that you didn't mind that, and that if it helped support the channel, you'd be okay with that, and I've experimented with that. Some people have complained about it. Some of my viewers always come to bat for me. The Manifesto says, would you rather write a check out to him to see the video? Josh says back, I spoke out of line. If I did not like watching 4 ads for a 17-minute video, I did not have to. No, fair enough. The Manifesto says back, the ads are annoying to be sure, but if they help the channel make money, I'm good with it. 2 things here. Number 1, I always appreciate you guys coming to bat for me, or just commenting back. When you're reading through comments, if you know the answer to someone's question, answering that for me, I see those replies, and I always appreciate it. I always appreciate you guys going to bat for me, especially when people are rude. I will try to make sure that ads don't play 3 or 4 times during a video. I didn't realize that was happening. When I select that option in YouTube, unless I go in and customize it, I think that they might be putting more ads in than I had anticipated, and so I definitely can go back and change that to just having 1 mid-roll ad, and we'll try that out for a while. So let me know what you think about that, and I will adjust accordingly. And Seth Suncloud says, in other words, someone saw your invention, stole your idea, patented it, manufactured it, and is now making a fortune. How kind and generous of them to send you one free of charge. This was on the Seating Square, and I don't think that anybody at Seating Square copied my idea. These a lot of you guys had said that was probably my most popular comment. That company, they have been, I'm sure, working on this for years. They probably came out with it before me, or if not at the same time. Not only that, but those seating templates have been around. They're not really. There's all kinds of paper ones you can print out. It's no secret. It's nothing new. What they did and how they bundled together and patented their idea, it's a great product, and they've done a great job with it. And so I will, instead of trying to make my own, which I probably never would have done, I would much rather promote theirs. They can handle all that mess, and I'll just I'll promote it on my channel, and we'll sell them through the Amazon link. I do get a 1% commission, I think, off those, so it works out for me just as well. So Seating Square did nothing wrong there, and they have a great product, so I'm happy to promote it. All right, we're going to start with some motor oil black. All right, I'm going to start by just beating the devil out of that brush. Just beating the devil out. Some real light brush strokes. Some happy trees. Bush down here at the bottom. I think I should stick to farming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the viewer comments for the spring of 2020. More viewer comments videos to come. I try to do at least a few a year, 4 or 5 of these a year. Keep those comments coming, guys. I love to hear them. Negative, not negative, doesn't matter. Throw your comments in there, however you're feeling today, and let me know what you think. I don't mind at all. So we'll take all the comments we can get. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on the video. Support the channel. Always appreciate that. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'd love to have you tag along with us. The SSL Family Mom takes a lot of time and tries to keep everybody up to date on all the behind-the-scenes things that are going on around the farm, things that are going on inside the house while I'm outside working a lot of times, and then sometimes things that are going on behind the scenes that you don't see in videos. And so we'd love to have you tag along on social media, especially on Instagram. That's the main place that we kind of put things out. So this is the first time you found yourself at the SSL Family Dad channel. I'd love to have you subscribe and follow along. We'd love to have you tag along for the ride. It's you never know what to expect here, so we'd love to have you follow along. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.